Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever sat in complete silence? Have you ever let the noise of the world fade away and simply listened to yourself? We live in a time where everyone is speaking, but few are truly listening. We chase validation, we seek recognition, and we drown ourselves in the noise of expectations. But what if I told you that true strength lies not in how loud you are, but in how deeply you understand yourself? Silence is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. Silence is power. When life knocks you down, and trust me, it will, people will tell you to fight, to argue, to prove your worth, but there is another way, a more powerful way. Step back, be silent, let life unfold. Because in that silence, something magical happens. You begin to hear the whispers of your soul. It is in silence that you heal. It is in silence that you grow. It is in silence that you discover who you truly are. I know what you're thinking, but the world won't wait for me. Opportunities will slip away. My dear friends, remember this. What is meant for you will never pass you by. You do not have to chase, you do not have to beg. When you are patient, when you are silent, everything that belongs to you will find its way to you, naturally, effortlessly, because silence is not emptiness, it is preparation. The strongest people I have met are not the loudest. They are the ones who walked through storms without shouting at the wind. They are the ones who suffered in silence, only to rise stronger than ever before. And when they spoke, their words carried the weight of wisdom, not noise. So today I ask you, when the world gets too loud, when you feel overwhelmed, when life seems unfair, pause, be silent. Listen, trust, because everything will come to you naturally. Thank you. True power does not come from how loud you can be, how much you argue, or how many words you use to prove your worth. It comes from understanding yourself, from knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, silence can be your greatest strength. It allows you to step back, observe, and respond with wisdom instead of reacting out of impulse. Many people mistake silence for weakness. They think that if you are not constantly asserting yourself, you will be overlooked or forgotten. But the truth is, those who are truly powerful do not need to shout to be noticed. Their presence, their energy, and their actions speak for them. When you embrace silence, you develop a quiet confidence, one that does not need approval from others. Silence also gives you control over your emotions. When faced with challenges, it is easy to react in anger, frustration, or fear. But when you choose to remain silent and process your emotions first, you gain clarity. You understand that not everything deserves your reaction. Some battles are won not by fighting, but by walking away with dignity. Silence teaches patience, and patience leads to wisdom. Throughout history, some of the most influential people have used silence as their weapon. They did not waste their energy on unnecessary arguments or battles. Instead, they observed, listened, and spoke only when their words could make an impact. Silence is not about suppressing your voice. It is about using it wisely. It is about speaking when it truly matters. Moreover, silence helps you understand the people around you. When you listen more than you speak, you learn what others truly think and feel. You see their intentions, their fears, and their motivations. This makes you more insightful, more compassionate, and more aware. Instead of being quick to judge, you develop the ability to read situations deeply and respond with wisdom. In difficult times, silence also becomes a source of inner strength. When life tests you, when people doubt you, and when circumstances seem unfair, the easiest thing to do is complain, argue, or prove yourself to others. But the real challenge is to stay silent, trust the process, and keep working on yourself. Those who succeed are not the ones who talk about their struggles, but the ones who silently endure them and come out stronger. Silence is also a powerful tool for personal growth. When you take time to be silent, you connect with yourself. You understand your fears, your dreams, and your purpose. You stop being influenced by the noise of the world and start listening to your own inner voice. This self-awareness is what leads to true confidence. because it is not based on external validation, but on an unshakable belief in yourself. In the end, silence is not weakness. It is not the absence of power. It is the presence of control, patience, and wisdom. It allows you to move through life with grace, to understand more than others expect, and to respond only when necessary. True strength is not about how loud you can be, but how deeply you understand yourself and the world around you. Silence is a space where true healing and personal growth take place. In the fast-paced world we live in, people often look for external solutions to their internal struggles. They seek distractions, validation, or temporary fixes to numb their pain. But real healing does not happen in the noise. It happens in the quiet moments when we sit with ourselves and allow our hearts and minds to process what we have been through. When we go through difficulties, whether it is heartbreak, failure, or loss, our first instinct is often to talk about it, to vent, to find comfort in the opinions of others. While sharing your emotions is important, there is also immense value in embracing silence. Silence allows you to feel deeply without interference. It gives you the space to acknowledge your pain without judgment. In these moments, you begin to understand that healing is not about erasing pain, but about learning from it. Silence helps us reflect. It forces us to slow down and listen to our inner voice, which is often drowned out by the noise of everyday life. In this quiet space, we become more aware of our thoughts, emotions, and patterns. We begin to see where we have been holding on to past wounds and where we need to let go. Growth starts when we face these truths with courage. Personal growth is not about constant action. It is about conscious. Many people believe that to grow, they must always be doing something, reading more, working harder, or setting new goals. While these actions are valuable, they must be balanced with moments of silence and introspection. True growth comes from understanding yourself, from recognizing your strengths and weaknesses, and from making peace with your past. Silence teaches us resilience. When we stop seeking external validation and instead focus on our internal journey, we develop emotional strength. We learn to stand firm in our values, make decisions with clarity, and trust ourselves even when the world questions us. This kind of growth does not happen overnight. It requires patience and self-discipline. But when we allow ourselves to sit in silence and truly listen, we discover an inner power that cannot be shaken. Healing also requires forgiveness, not just for others, but for ourselves. In silence, we learn to let go of regrets, guilt, and self-blame. We come to understand that we are human, that mistakes are part of the journey, and that every experience, no matter how painful, is a lesson in disguise. When we stop fighting our past and start accepting it, we find peace. Ultimately, silence is not emptiness. It is transformation. It is in the quiet moments that we heal our wounds, rediscover our purpose, and prepare for the next chapter of our lives. Growth is not about how fast we move, but about how deeply we understand ourselves. And when we embrace silence as a teacher, we unlock the wisdom, strength, and resilience that have always been within us. In life, we are often taught that we must chase after opportunities, success, and happiness. We are told that if we don't constantly push, strive, and compete, we will fall behind. But what if the truth is the opposite? What if everything that is meant for us will naturally come when the time is right? What if we don't need to chase, but instead we need to trust? One of the greatest sources of stress in life comes from the fear of missing out. We see others achieving their dreams, reaching milestones, and seemingly living perfect lives, and we feel the pressure to do the same. This pressure makes us believe that we must always be running, always doing more, and always proving ourselves. But this endless chase only leads to exhaustion. The reality is, what is truly meant for you will never require you to beg for it. When you trust in your journey, you begin to understand that not everything needs to happen immediately. The job you desire, the relationships you seek, the dreams you want to fulfill, they will come when you are truly ready for them. Life has a way of aligning events in perfect timing, but only if we allow it to. When we force things to happen before their time, we often end up frustrated and disappointed. But when we let go of control and focus on growing, life naturally unfolds in our favor. Think about the times in your life when something felt forced. Maybe you tried to hold on to a friendship that was no longer serving you, or you pushed yourself into a career path that didn't truly align with your heart. In these moments, you likely felt resistance, stress, and frustration. That's because what is truly meant for you should feel like a natural fit. It should bring peace, not struggle. This does not mean you should sit back and do nothing. It means you should prepare yourself for the things you desire, but not chase them desperately. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, and opportunities will come to you effortlessly. A flower does not chase the bee, it simply blooms, and the bees come naturally. In the same way, when you invest in your personal growth, in your skills, and in your well-being, the right people, opportunities, and experiences will be drawn to you. Patience is the key. Sometimes life makes us wait, not to punish us, but to prepare us. You may not receive what you want right away because you're still in the process of becoming the person who can handle it. Trust that every delay, every closed door, and every detour is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. So stop chasing, stop forcing, instead focus on being present, on growing, and on trusting that what is meant for you will never pass you by. When you surrender to this truth, you will find that everything you once chased will start coming to you naturally, exactly when it's meant to. Silence is often misunderstood. Many believe that it represents emptiness, inaction, or passivity. But in reality, silence is one of the most powerful forms of preparation. It is a space where ideas are born, strength is built, and wisdom is cultivated. When you embrace silence, you are not wasting time. You are preparing for something greater. We live in a world that glorifies constant action. People are always told to be busy, to hustle, to keep moving forward at any cost. While hard work is important, there is a difference between productive effort and mindless busyness. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is pause, reflect, and allow yourself the time to grow internally. The most successful individuals are not those who rush blindly, but those who take time to understand themselves, their purpose, and their path. Silence gives you clarity. When you are constantly surrounded by noise, distractions, and the opinions of others, it becomes difficult to hear your own thoughts. But when you step into silence, you gain the ability to truly listen to yourself, to your intuition, and to the deeper lessons that life is teaching you. It is in this quiet space that you discover what truly matters, what aligns with your soul, and what you need to let go of. Growth is not always visible. Just like a seed growing beneath the soil, the most important transformations happen in silence, away from the eyes of the world. People often feel frustrated when they don't see immediate results in their lives. They think that if nothing is happening on the surface, they are failing. But the truth is, the most significant changes happen internally before they manifest externally. A period of silence, solitude, or waiting is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of preparation. Think of the most powerful voices in history. They did not waste words. They did not speak simply to be heard. They spent years in silence, learning, growing, and preparing. And when they finally spoke, their words carried the weight of wisdom and experience. Silence is not about suppressing your voice. It is about refining it, so that when the time comes, it has the power to create real impact. Silence also builds resilience. It teaches patience, self-discipline, and inner strength. When you learn to sit with yourself in moments of uncertainty rather than seeking constant validation from the outside world, you become unshakable. You develop a sense of trust in yourself and your journey. This kind of quiet confidence cannot be taken away by temporary setbacks or external criticism. So the next time you find yourself in a period of silence, do not fear it. Do not mistake it for emptiness or stagnation. Instead, embrace it as a period of preparation. Know that something greater is taking shape within you. When the time is right, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and ready. And when you finally step forward, the world will hear not just noise, but the voice of someone who has truly mastered the power of silence. True strength is not found in loud words or constant explanations. It is found in the quiet confidence of those who let their actions speak for them. In a world where people feel the need to prove themselves at every turn, those who remain silent and focus on their work stand out the most. They do not waste energy on unnecessary arguments or validation. Instead, they channel their efforts into becoming better versions of themselves. Many believe that strength is about fighting back, responding to criticism, or making their voices heard in every situation. The strongest individuals know that not every battle is worth fighting. They understand that real power does not come from reacting, but from remaining calm, composed, and intentional with their words and actions. Instead of engaging in meaningless conflicts, they choose to rise above them. Silence is often mistaken for weakness, but in reality, it is a sign of deep self-awareness. When a person stays quiet in the face of negativity, it does not mean they are incapable of defending themselves. It means they are wise enough to know that energy is better spent on growth rather than conflict. They understand that arguments rarely change minds, but actions do. Instead of telling people what they can do, they show them. When life presents challenges, strong people do not complain about their struggles. They do not announce their difficulties to the world, expecting sympathy. Instead, they endure, they persevere, and they let their success be their response. They know that in the end, results speak louder than words. Think about the people you admire most. Are they the ones who constantly talk about their strengths? Or are they the ones who simply prove themselves through their actions? Those who earn true respect are not the loudest in the room. They are the ones who remain steady, who stay focused, and who let their achievements tell their story. Silence also gives a person control over their emotions. In moments of anger or frustration, it is easy to lash out, to defend oneself impulsively, or to argue endlessly. But a person who has mastered the power of silence knows when to walk away. They understand that not every opinion deserves a response, and that true confidence comes from knowing your own worth, regardless of what others say. Furthermore, those who let their actions speak build stronger relationships. They do not make empty promises, they follow through. They do not say they will change, they prove it through consistent effort. This makes them trustworthy and respected. When they do speak, people listen because they know their words are backed by integrity. The world is filled with noise, people trying to prove themselves, seeking attention and reacting to everything. But those who truly succeed are the ones who step back, focus on their own path, and let their success speak for itself. They understand that words can be forgotten, but actions leave a lasting impact. That is the true power of silence. In a world that is constantly pushing us to move faster, achieve more, and always be ahead, we often forget the power of stillness. We are conditioned to believe that success and happiness come from relentless effort and constant action. But the truth is, some of the most profound transformations happen when we simply pause, trust, and allow life to unfold at its own pace. There are moments in life when everything feels uncertain. You might feel stuck, as if nothing is working in your favor. During these times, it is tempting to panic, to push harder, to force things to happen. But often, the best thing you can do is to take a step back and embrace stillness. Silence does not mean inaction. It means trusting that what is meant for you will come at the right time. It means having faith in the journey, even when you do not see immediate results. Many people spend their lives in a constant state of worry. They fear missing opportunities, falling behind, or making the wrong decisions. But the truth is, life has a way of bringing everything together when the time is right. You do not have to chase, struggle, or stress over things beyond your control. What is truly meant for you will never be taken away. When you trust the journey, you develop patience. And patience is not just waiting, it is how you wait. It is about maintaining faith even when things seem uncertain. It is about using quiet moments for self-reflection rather than frustration. It is about understanding that delays are not rejections, they are redirections. Every challenge, every pause, every unanswered question is shaping you for something greater. Embracing stillness also helps you develop a deeper connection with yourself. When you are constantly moving, you rarely have time to reflect on what truly matters. But when you slow down, when you sit in silence and listen to your inner voice, you begin to understand yourself better. You start to differentiate between what you want because of external pressure and what you truly desire. This clarity allows you to make choices that align with your purpose, rather than making decisions out of fear or impatience. One of the most beautiful things about trusting the journey is that it allows you to enjoy the present moment. When you are constantly chasing the next goal, the next achievement, or the next big thing, you miss out on the beauty of what is happening right now. But when you embrace stillness, you begin to appreciate where you are, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Success, happiness, love, whatever you seek will come to you when you are truly ready for it. Instead of rushing, forcing, or doubting, try to surrender. Let go of the need to control everything. Trust that life is always working in your favor, even when you do not see it yet. So when you feel overwhelmed, take a deep breath, pause, trust, and remember, what is meant for you will always find its way to you naturally and effortlessly.